speaking of the cheese,
Yes.
I thought if you didn't mind, you tell me kind of how you do it.
I start with milk that I milk twice a day, collect the milk.
And then you combine the milk together. So
Yes.
it's sheep and goat milk.
Correct.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
By itself,
Yeah.
a little different. And then you bring it into your creamery.
Yep.
And what do you do with it once it's in the creamery?
I strain it I have a filter,
Okay.
a milk filter. Then I store it in the refrigerator until I have 7 gallons. I pour it into a big pot on the stove, and then I add the cultures. Penicillin roqueforti, which is the blue.
That's the blue, and that gives you your blue cheese.
Yes. And then I use other mesophilic cultures.
Now, how hot does that milk have to get?
90 degrees.
So you keep it at 90.
Yep, it
So
keeps
I
it at
always-
90 for an hour and a half, and then I will put in the rennet, and then that sits for about an hour. That will basically coagulate the milk, and so then
That's
you'll get
right.
the curds in the way. Then I will cut the curds, and by cutting the curds, you're releasing more whey. And so I want to cut the curds and keep it at 90 degrees, and the curds will firm up a little, more whey will be released. So I'll let that sit for an hour, and then I will strain out the whey, and then I'll take the curds and I'll put it into a mold which has pierced holes all in it. It has a bottom, but the whole mold itself has tiny, tiny holes. So again,
I see.
what we're just straining out, trying to
So
drain
all that
more
whey, which is a liquid, is going to
Yep.
come out the
Yep.
holes.
And then I let it sit overnight, and then the next morning I'll flip it right in the molds
I see.
itself, because I want to keep the shape. So I want to keep it in the mold for a day. So then the following day I'll take the mold off, and then I'll flip it every day, salt it, for the first few days. And then once it starts to develop blue on the outside, then I'll take a knitting needle and I pierce it to get air inside the cheese, because the blue will grow where there's air. And so I pierce it and I keep flipping it, and then I'll wrap it and stick it in the fridge until 60 days are up, and then it's ready.
From when you first start, say from the milking of the sheep and the goat to your finished product of blue cheese, how long does that take? 2 months?
Yes.
See, I figured that out just from talking to you.
You're
And that is
smart.
why
You're
I'm
a smart
the
sheriff.
sheriff.